I am Sybil Baker, and today I'm reading Buildings. This book is by Betsey, Chessen, Pamela Chanko. What are buildings made of? Buildings can be made from many different materials. Wood, bricks, and stones are just a few. Sometimes a building is made of several different materials in combination. The material a building is made of often depends on what the building will be used for and in what environment it is built. Will it be a place to work or a place to live? Is it in the desert or in a big city? The answers to these questions help the builders decide what materials to use. Some are made of wood. Wood has always been a basic building material for people who live in temperate climates, where lots of trees grow. This building is a barn in Vermont. It is used as a shelter for animals like cows and horses. Some are made of brick. People first made bricks by baking dirt and clay. They were fairly small so that they could be easily thrown up to the mason who was working high up on the wall. This building is a bell tower in Italy. Some are made of rock. Long ago, some people built shelters right into the sides of huge rocks. These small rooms kept people protected from the weather. Some of them are still inhabited today. These buildings are in a village in Turkey called Ukazir. The quarters are actually used for restaurants and tourist accommodations. Some are made of stone. Sometimes builders take small stones and use them like bricks, joining them together with mortar to form walls. The strength of such buildings lies in their weight. All those stones are very heavy. This stone house is in Alabama. Some are made of metal. When people discovered how to make cast iron, architects began designing very different buildings. Metal is both lighter and stronger than stone and can support great weight. Therefore, buildings made of metal can be very tall. This is the famous Eiffel Tower in Paris. Some are made of mud. This mud house is very practical in its environment, which is the desert. Dried mud makes a long-lasting house here because it doesn't rain. This house is in the Moroccan desert. Some are made of glass. In the mid-20th century, people began to erect buildings that had metal skeletons and were covered on the outside with glass. They always use a special kind of glass, very thick and strong. If you look up in a big city, you can see skyscrapers like this one reflecting the clouds. Some are made of ice. People who live in very cold, frozen climates also use what is close by to create buildings. They cut blocks of ice from the frozen ground to make bricks they can stack. These homes are called igloos. This one is in Canada. Some are made of straw. One of the building materials used in this small church in Peru is straw. The building is an area too high for trees to grow, where straw was easier to find than wood. The thin reeds were laid side by side and sewn together to form a lightweight roof and walls. This straw building is on an island in Lake Titicaca, the highest lake in the world. Some are made of logs. Pioneers who didn't have a way to saw the tree trunks into boards used the whole log as a building material instead. These logs were fitted together to build strong walls and roofs. This log cabin is in the woods of Alaska. Some are even made of gold. Very few buildings in the world use gold as a building material. This amazing structure is the Shah Dagon Palace in Rangoon, Burma. Its tall cone-shaped towers are completely covered in gold. Buildings. What kind of building do you live in? Would you like to live in a building made of ice? Where do you think you would find a building made of ice? Do you think a building made of gold would cost a little money or a lot of money? I am thankful that we have buildings to live in to keep us warm and to shelter us from the storms. Thank you.